A telephone lifts from the table, not falls, not slips, lifts. Then it whips across the room. Reporters stir. Cameras click. Adults rush in. And in the middle of it all sits a 14-year-old girl in Columbus, Ohio, as something inside the house refuses to behave the way it should. In March 1984, the home of a teenage girl named Tina Resch became the centre of one of the most widely publicised poltergeist cases in the United States. Objects were reported to move without contact, lights flickered, appliances turned on and off, and most famously, a telephone appeared to fly through the air, captured in a sequence of photographs that would spread far beyond the house itself. The story moved quickly. Local reports became national headlines. Journalists entered the home. Cameras stayed running, and what had begun as a private disturbance became something observed in real time. At the centre of it was Tina, a teenager, living in a household that later accounts would describe as unstable and at times abusive. And the activity, according to those present, seemed to follow her. Parapsychologist William Rowe, known for studying what he called recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis, took the case seriously. He spent time in the house, he observed, and he concluded that something genuine might be happening, that the disturbances could be linked to psychological stress, manifesting physically in ways not yet understood. Others were not convinced. Investigators, including magician and skeptic James Randi, argued that the events could be explained through trickery. They pointed to inconsistencies, to moments that appeared staged, and to the lack of controlled conditions where objects could be seen moving without any possible intervention. One moment, in particular, shifted the tone. A television crew, leaving a camera running, captured footage that appeared to show Tina knocking over a lamp herself. For many, that became a turning point. Not necessarily proof that everything had been faked, but enough to cast doubt over everything that had come before. And so the case is split. On one side, witnesses, photographs, and an investigator who believes something real had occurred. On the other, skepticism, inconsistencies, and the possibility that at least part of the story had been shaped from within the room itself. But the story didn't end in that house. Years later, Tina Resch became known by another name, Christina Boyer. In 1992, she was convicted in the death of her 3-year-old daughter, a case that would follow her far more quietly than the headlines of 1984, but with far greater consequences. She has spent decades in prison, maintaining her innocence. Some who have reviewed the case believe there are serious questions surrounding the medical evidence and the legal process. Others believe the conviction reflects something far more grounded and far more tragic. Whatever the truth of that later case may be, it changes how the earlier story is remembered. Because the girl, once surrounded by cameras, questions, and claims of unseen forces, did not step out of that moment into a normal life. She stepped into something far more complicated. And that is where the Columbus Poltergeist case still lingers, not as a single explanation, but as a collision of possibilities. A house where objects were said to move, a teenager at the centre of it, a moment caught between belief and doubt, and a life that did not follow the path anyone watching in 1984 might have expected. Was it a haunting, a performance, a response to pressure no one fully understood, or something that doesn't sit comfortably inside any one of those words? The photographs remain, the accounts remain, the arguments remain, but the clearest thing that remains is not what moved in that house. It's the fact that whatever happened there, it didn't stay there. And that is what makes a story harder to leave behind.